Well, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order now and ask for a roll call, please.
Mrs. Reyes,
Here.
Mr. Nielsen,
Here.
Mrs. Contreras, Ms. Sashanek.
Here. Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. For a moment of silence. Thank you. And at this point, we'll ask any board members if they want to have any statements.
Sure, I do.
Okay.
I represented the district at the ASBA county meeting about 2 weeks ago. We elected one of the board members from the Tempe Union High School District as our co-county director.
Thank you for doing that.
And then I attended a trunk or treat at Fine Arts Academy, and that was wonderful, and it was great to see the community and all the kids out and about.
Thank you. Technical difficulty, bear with me here. Okay, I got paper, good old paper. Okay, here we go. All right.
Yeah, she got bumped out.
Dr. Freeman, it's your turn for the superintendent's report. Do you need your paper back?
No.
Okay.
No, I have it all, man. Buenas tardes a todos and good evening, everybody. I'd like to start by reminding everybody it's election day in 7 days. And if you have already sent in your mail ballot, that's good. If you haven't, you're going to need to drop it off just to make sure that it doesn't arrive late. It has to arrive by 7 p.m. on election day, November 8th. If you're planning to vote in person, the closest location to our district office is Avondale City Hall. You can also visit the maricopa.gov election website, where to vote, and enter any address. The website will return the closest polling location to your home or work, as well as other helpful details, such as the number of people waiting in line and time estimates at any one of those places. When you vote, you're not only modeling that you value and support the democratic process, but you're getting involved in our governance, and who we elect has consequences. We also want to extend our thanks to candidates who are willing to give their time to volunteer on our governing board. Our members contribute many selfless hours on behalf of our staff, students, and families. I think the start of November is also a good time to thank all the staff, students, and community who make contributions to the district, especially those of you who are part of our meetings and those who are joining us via YouTube. Our board values your involvement and attendance in their meetings, and it helps us to reassure public schools belong to the community and not some other self-interests. Around our schools, fall activities have been in full swing. We know the level of involvement from our families is one of the key factors in our students' growth. Attending student, parent, teacher conferences is an important component, and while we're still going over the reports, the schools that have reported so far have had pretty great participation. Country Place, for example, all but 9% of the students had a family member discuss progress toward their WIGs. If you remember on their IEP, those are wildly important goals. All but 13% of Tres Rios families participated in in-person and online student-led conferences. And at Collier, all but 16% of the families classes met their 100% participation goal for student-led conferences. So we're looking forward to reporting all the district data when we get that compiled in the next update to the board, and hoping we can get the district over the 90% mark. Last month was National Bullying Prevention Month. If you've been tuning into our meetings, you know that we guide and provide tools for students to self-regulate on their own behavior, to develop character development programs, participate in things like All Things EQ. In October, we build on those foundations by making an emphasis on bullying awareness and remind everybody, teachers, administrators, parents, students, we all play a role in prevention, especially those people who are witnesses to bullying. Country Place implemented a stop, walk, talk tool. Students are told that if someone is doing something that you don't like or upsetting you, ask them to stop. If they continue, then walk away. And if they continue, seek out an adult to talk to them about what's happening. They also worked on modeling what to do when someone asks you to stop. You stop what you're doing, you take a deep breath, and you move on with your day. Fine Arts Falcons wore orange on October 19th in honor of Bullying Awareness Month and Unity Day. Each classroom created orange unity links, attached them together to create a unity chain, and that went in the front of the school as a reminder to reject bullying, to be kind, inclusive, and accepting at all times. At Collier Estrella Vista Fine Arts in Littleton Online, Littleton STEM Academy, and Tres Rios, all those students participated in Spirit Week to show solidarity for the Red Ribbon Week. Each morning during those announcements, students heard how living drug-free is a part of making healthy choices and how it can positively impact their future, their health, and our safe school campuses. The Tres Rios Pumas also signed an individual pledge to remain drug-free, to collaborate in Puma Nation Unity Chain, and students decorated their classroom doors in representation of their unity and pledge for celebrating life drug-free. Next week, our nation will be observing Veterans Day, and all our schools have scheduled activities to show their appreciation for the bravery and sacrifices made by our veterans and active soldiers. At the Collier Business Academy, kindergarten students are interviewing veterans and drawing pictures that will be presented to show their appreciation. Seventh graders will do Veterans Day fact-finding scavenger hunt in order to highlight the important facts of heroism and history. School-wide, the PTA, National Junior Honor Society, and Student Council are all collaborating to organize a parade in which the Collier veterans will be recognized. The PTA at Country Place will be hosting a breakfast for veterans on November 10th in the cafeteria. Local veterans will be honored and celebrated for their contributions to our community. Estrella Vista veterans will be celebrated with a special invitation to First Friday assemblies. Staff and students will sing the national anthem, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and students will also participate by wearing red, white, and blue to make their own human flag. Fine Arts Academy, the first graders are learning about our military branches and what it means to serve and become a veteran. At the first grade level, then, students will post pictures of family members, parents, aunt, and uncles who are veterans. Littleton Firebirds will have an opportunity to discuss the significance of a day across campus, significance of the day all across the campus. Pre-K and fifth graders are writing letters to family members who are serving and who have served. Our middle school students there will have an opportunity to discuss and ask questions of our very own Mr. Irvin, who will be on campus again this year to share his experiences. At Tres Rios Service Academy, students will write letters of gratitude to our troops. The campus will be adorned with patriotic decor and to honor those who have and are serving. They will also hold a moment of silence in remembrance of those who lost their lives serving our country. Last week, we had the honor of attending Littleton STEM Academy's Model PLC recognition ceremony, and we're so proud of how the people at that school have pulled together to earn that recognition. We're reminded that there are only 11 schools in the whole state of Arizona that have received that honor, and 2 of them are here in Littleton. We're very proud of the staff and students. I'd like to thank Mr. Nielsen, Ms. Sosnick for attending the ceremony. That always means a lot to the staff. Then last week as well, the Littleton School District, in partnership with Tolleson Elementary and NAU, were the recipients of a Westmark Quality of Life Community Award in Education. That honor is once a year awarded for our Grow Your Own program that's being launched in collaboration with all those entities for future teachers to pursue a Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education and other kinds of supports the path will offer. Tuition-free, flexible schedules, accommodating working professionals who are looking to become teachers soon. There's even a $2,000 stipend that will go through NAU, their junior and senior years. The program was fierce in competition with a whole bunch of other awards. We were pleased to be a finalist and then surprised to win that award. Other organizations like Mission of Mercy and West Valley Mavericks, Unite Aviate Academy were also proud to receive different honors at that meeting, and want to thank President Reyes and Ms. Sosnick for being there to represent the board at that event as well. A lot of that is possible because of a very generous donation from a benefactor to the program. Lastly, reviewing our monthly gifts and donations, I noticed how in the last couple months the report is growing back closer to our pre-pandemic levels. So we want to thank our PTAs, parents, and organizations for their time and efforts to support their community schools. Today, I'd also like to thank Laura Montano for $580 in engineering kits donated to our schools, and to Jenna Ferraro with Phoenix Tool Bank for their donation of $4,300 worth of PPE. And that's all I have this evening.
Just may I have one correction there. I was there with you guys on,
Yeah, you were sitting at the
I
opposite
wasn't sitting on
table.
Yes,
I
for
thought
those
you
of
were
you
that
who are listening on YouTube,
sorry.
Mr. Nielsen was also present at the celebration. He chose, however, to sit at someone else's table, which is why we
okay.
failed to recognize that, and our apologies, Mr. Nielsen.
Thank you.
You can sit with us next time.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman. And I do want to just reiterate, the award that was given to us was really, it was amazing. I wish we would have brought it so we could show it to you, but to be nominated and win by Westmark really does say we're doing good things. And it's not an easy award to win. And there were small videos of, there was two front runners that were chosen out of, I don't know, several. And we were drum rolling at our own table, and luckily we won it. So we were quite excited, quite proud, and that goes to everyone. It goes to the community, to teachers, administrators. Us will take a tiny bit of credit, but mostly it's teachers and community that really makes us what we are. So thank everyone for that effort. And you'll see it on our marquee. We're quite proud of it. We're going to put it on the big overhead marquee and every marquee for a little bit. We deserve that recognition, so thank you. With that, we're moving on to the program showcase. I don't know who's doing it, but
Ms. Garrison's covering.
We have to read
Oh, we have a proclamation. Do we?
oh, do we?
to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is this mine or yours? This is yours?
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Oh, these are
I
you.
gave you mine.
We're definitely not organized, but give me a second. I'll get there.
We're organized. We're just.
Please, thank you, while I pull
Thank
myself
you.
together.
Whereas public schools are the backbone of our democracy, providing young people with the tools they need to maintain our nation's precious values of freedom, civility, and equality. And whereas by equipping young Americans with both practical skills and broader intellectual abilities, schools give them hope for and access to a productive future. And whereas education employees, substitute educators, custodians, teachers, bus drivers, or librarians work tirelessly to serve our children and communities with care and professionalism. And whereas schools are community cornerstones, bringing together the voices of adults and children, educators and volunteers, business leaders and elected officials in a common enterprise. Now, therefore, the governing board of Littleton Elementary School District 65 hereby proclaim November 14th to 18th, 2022 as the 101st annual observance of American Education Week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Would you like me to do the other one?
Please.
I can do it if you like me to.
I can do it, it's fine. Whereas our vision is that families, schools, and communities are engaged in every child's education to enhance student achievement. Whereas the Littleton School District partners with families and schools to improve college and career readiness skills. Whereas Littleton School District's educators collaborate with families to perform a strong educational framework for all children from preschool through high school. Whereas research indicates that schools that establish and maintain effective two-way communication with families increase participation in the learning process. Families who engage their children in at-home learning activities and monitor homework help students achieve academic expectations. Schools that include families in the decision-making process develop shared goals and actions to improve schools and students' education. Families who understand developmental milestones and academic expectations are confident and guide their children toward scholastic and social success. And communities that collaborate to strengthen family engagement initiatives impact positive student outcomes. Now, therefore, the Governing Board of Littleton Elementary School District 65 do hereby proclaim November 2022 as Family Engagement Month. We commend families, school staff, and community members who encourage student achievement and form meaningful partnerships on behalf of our children's future.
Thank you, Amy. All right, so we have those proclamations read at this point. Now we're moving on to number 7 for the program showcase. Thank you.
Madam President, Governing Board, I have the pleasure tonight of filling in to present to you our program showcase. Tonight, Mr. Eric Atuhini, principal of Littleton STEM Academy for Computer Science, regrets that he could not be with us due to illness. But no worries, Ms. Samantha Armstrong, assistant principal, will showcase the signature school focus through highlighting their coding instruction, mission, vision, community partners, and program enhancements. Ms. Armstrong will share the coding curriculum that students engage daily through their partnership with TechSmart. Ms. Armstrong.
Thank you. Greetings, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Freeman, and the executive team. I am pleased to share a video that showcases our school focus, which is coding. We have partnered with TechSmart. TechSmart is a company that provides schools with professional development and curriculum for 3rd through 8th grade students that makes equitable computer science education a reality. The curriculum and the professional development that TechSmart provides builds background for our staff to be confident coding instructors. Our partnership with TechSmart involves 24-hour support, monthly collaborative development meetings, and yearly trainings regarding programming updates, changes to curriculum, and available resources. The professional development is delivered to our teachers via video conferencing after school hours and during breaks. Our 3rd through 5th grade elementary school teachers deliver instruction on block coding, which is an introductory coding language. Our 6th through 8th junior high teachers deliver instruction on Python coding. Python coding is used to build websites, automate tasks, and conduct analysis. We are in a 3-year rollout to expose all of our 3rd through 8th grade students to this curriculum. Year 1, which was last year, we were able to expose our 1/3 of our students to the program. We are in year 2 with the goal to be exposing 2/3 by the end of the year, and finally in the last year, we should be able to have exposed all of our 3rd through 8th grade students to this curriculum. The reason for the 3-year rollout is due to teacher training. Each year, we are able to train additional teachers, which allows us to expand the reach of the program. Our 3rd through 8th grade students are taught coding 40 minutes a day, 4 days a week. Our K2 students are engaged in coding, but in the form of gaming. They are exposed to Osmos, which is where students can replicate codes and add to it with next steps. They also do human coding, where they are able to code their partners through a maze with directional cards. In the video that will be shown, you will see teachers and students discussing this experience with coding at Littleton STEM, our junior high students working in Python on a coding challenge, elementary students engaged in collaborative coding activities, and we have a 1st grade class participating in Osmos activities. Please enjoy the video.
So I've really seen TechSmart impact the students in big ways. They've really been able to apply the different things that they learn in class, their math skills, different problem-solving strategies, and they're able to apply it in a new way that I don't necessarily get to see in the classroom. TechSmart has impacted me just in the way that I get to see students in a different light, the different skills that I wouldn't necessarily see.
Was really opens up a new world to programming new characters with timing, looking, hiding, and showing things. And there's even more too.
I like TechSmart because like you could like code different things and like you could pick different characters and you could like see what they do and then you could like make them disappear, appear, you can put sounds, you can make them move, you can make them fly.
Boulder. Okay.
Okay, I already asked this one. Okay.
We go to code
We
assist.
go to code assist and then
Timing.
every frame.
No, not every frame. After
says-
6
yeah,
seconds.
I find that TechSmart has been a great way for them to promote their own student agency because I'm learning coding along with them. So I often will get stuck or I will need their support. And it's a wonderful opportunity for students to extend their own abilities, their own learning, their own problem solving skills to an adult, which is a rare situation that our students find themselves into. So they're supporting me as much as I'm supporting them in our coding. Teaching coding has taught me a new language for teaching. It has challenged me as a teacher because I have to learn. I'm not just doing what I already know. And that has given me an opportunity to be vulnerable in front of the students, but also to increase my practice to something that is not just me leading, the students are leading with me.
I like to use coding in the future because it helps me get social with other people, and also it's fun to do because you get to work out problems in your code and you get to like think about what it can be, and then that's why it helps you be social because if you don't know what it is, you can ask other people.
Coding now has helped me socialize with other students in my class. Coding has also helped me problem solve and figure out how to fix things in my own code. It also has helped me see what I want to be in my future. It's like, say if I wanted to code a video game when I get older, it helps me get more advanced for when I want to do it in the future.
Thank you very much. It looks like an amazing program, and it looks like they have fun doing it, so that's part of the battle. So please let everyone know we appreciate how much time you spend on doing those type of programs.
Thank you, Madam President. I will definitely do that.
Thank you.
And next up, Littleton STEM Academy will showcase their Kids at Hope Student of the Month, 6th grader Camila Gastelum, and recognize a dedicated volunteer, Leonela Gonzalez. Ms. Armstrong.
So first, our Kid at Home student, before we play the video, I have a quick little shout out for Camila to let you guys know a little bit more about her. Camila shines in so many ways. She wanted to be a cheerleader, and even though she was the only one on the team, that did not stop her. The entire season, she and her coach showed up to all the games, and she cheered our Firebirds on. From one cheer to the next, she showed up and shined. Then, during halftime, Camila would get out in front of the whole crowd and show us what she had. Camila embodies all of the values of a Kid at Hope. She is a positive role model. Others look up to her, and she truly shows us that all children are capable of success with no exceptions. So I'd like to show you the quick video on Camila.
Hello, my name is Camila Gastelum. I'm 10 years old and in 6th grade. And I would like to say thank you for the Littleton staff for making me a Kids at Hope Firebird. And I would like to give a big thanks to my mom and my dad. My mom because she has supported me this whole way, and my dad because he likes to like pump me up. Like he likes to get me into sports, and yeah. And I would like to appreciate my 5th grade teacher, Miss Spencer, because she was the best teacher ever, and she helped me with my work a lot, and she encouraged me to do my best and try my hardest, and she also encouraged me to do what I ever wanted to do. So like for example, if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, she would encourage me to do that. And I would finish off and say a great thanks to all the Littleton staff for helping me be a Kids at Hope.
We're gonna want to get your pick. Is that the first time you saw that?
She's full of spirit, this one. Nothing wrong with that.
We're just standing in front of these little backdrop things here.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just gets back
You
on.
want to take a picture by yourself first, or your mom, or your family, or someone?
Oh, yeah, they got it.
Yeah, not to manage. You want us to take one? Yes, please.
Do that. You'll do it.
Yeah.
He's an expert. So it's in front. Take it out. As long as it's right set up, it's any way you want. All right, smile. Okay, one more. Smile. Okay, now the whole game. Everybody smile. Perfect. Got it? Good job.
I'll look and sit in Dr. Freeman's chair.
And finally, we are honored to celebrate our volunteer, Miss Leonela Gonzalez. She is a first-time parent at Littleton STEM with her son in kinder, and we have a short video clip here to honor her before we call her up.
Greetings, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Freeman, and the executive team. I'm really pleased and excited to share with you our Volunteer of the Month. Leonela Gonzalez is a first-time parent at Littleton STEM Academy. From the start at Meet the Teacher Night, she has been nothing but open, supportive, and such a valuable parent in our kindergarten classroom community. She is open to asking questions to help her son be the best version of himself. She asks ways to help him learn and grow in a way that is developmentally appropriate. Anytime we ask for help, such as donations and chaperoning, we know she will be there for support. She comes to all events and makes the best out of everything. She reaches out to give support no matter the situation. It is evident that she values education because it can be felt with every interaction with Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez has been such an incredible addition to the Littleton family. I want to again congratulate Ms. Gonzalez on being our Volunteer of the Month, and we really do appreciate all the supports that she's provided to our kindergarten classrooms and to our school community. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
right, smile. Oh my gosh.
Great. Good job, buddy. Thank you.
No call.
Okay. So at this time, we understand there's homework and family time. You're welcome to leave now, or you're more than welcome to stay, but whatever makes you comfortable. At this time, we have no call to the public, so we will move on to the consent agenda. And I will ask for the governing board to consider the items on the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
I hear a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none, motion will pass.
Dr. Haid.
This time, we'll turn it over to Dr. Haid.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. This evening, we have our assessment director, Mr. Brian DeLessio, coming up to talk about our achievement profiles, which just were released to the public. In addition, he will follow up with our district IAP, as we've seen all of the schools and how this relates to our achievement and how that goes forward in the future. So, Mr. DeLessio, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Haid. So the school letter grades are made up of 4 different components. As you can see there, 50% is growth, 30% is proficiency, 10% is English language learners on the AZELA assessment, and then 10% on acceleration and readiness. So we'll go through each one of those components on the pie chart. First, we'll start with proficiency. They take into account the AASA. I wrote that wrong. My goodness. English Language Arts and Math. It's weighted performance on ELA and Math, with the highly proficient students receiving more or receiving the most points. So as you can see, there's a breakdown. The minimally proficient students receive 0 points, partially proficient 0.6, proficient students 1 point, and the highly proficient students earn 1.3 points. So there's 2 different ways that you can earn points under proficiency, and the model takes the component that earns more. So the proficiency model just takes our 3 through 8th grade full academic or FAE students on their proficiency rates. The stability model takes into account the students that have been in our schools for more than 1 year. And so students that have been in our school 3 years more receive 15% more points. The students that have been here or in a school for 2 receive 10% more points, and students that have been 1 or more is 0.5. Moving on to growth, that actually takes into account 2 different calculations, and they look at growth from the previous test to the current test. This has definitely been a different year since we haven't had true scores since 2019. So they've come up with very fancy formulas to calculate that, which would probably be a separate meeting all in itself. So the two components, you can earn up to 25 points for each component, which makes up for the 50%. The SGP describes the actual growth a student made from previous year to current year. And then the SGT, which is the expected growth that a student is expected to get from one year to the next. Next, moving on to our English language learners. There's a total of 10 points in this category and is broken into two components. The first component, worth 5 points, is overall proficiency on the Azella assessment, which tests English proficiency. The second component, also worth 5 points, is the growth from previous year to current year on that Azella assessment. And the last component is acceleration or readiness. This component, you can earn up to 10 points, but I believe you can, I had it and I just lost it. But you can only earn up to a maximum of 10 points, but there's, I think, 5 different components that you can make up those 10 points. So the first two is 8th grade math. You can earn up to 5 points. That is, if you increase the highly proficient 8th grade students from the previous year to the current year and decrease the minimally proficient 8th grade students. The next component is grade 3 ELA. So decreasing the school current year minimally proficient students compared to the prior year, maintaining a low, you can maintain a minimally proficient percentage. There's 3 more categories, I believe, that make up this calculation. And those would be chronic absenteeism, inclusion of special education students, and improved growth of the subgroups. So again, there's 5 different components. I believe that total makeup is 20 points, but you can only earn a total of 10 points in that category. Then we have bonus points. There are 2 separate components that make up our bonus points. Special education enrollment, you can earn up to 2 points for that. So schools with a percentage of statewide average of students enrolled in special education. Then we have science proficiency, you can earn up to 3 points for that. And that is based on the students that are tested in grades 5 and 8 compared to the overall statewide average. And I guess I should have had a drum roll, but here is our overall school letter grades. School letter grades were last calculated in 2019, but as we would know with COVID and assessments, they rolled over the school letter grades to 1920, which is shown there in that first column. And then in the last column is our current school letter grades. As you can see, we had several schools move up a letter grade. We had no schools move down, which is always a positive. So definitely excited to be up here to share the good news with you tonight. I know I went through that very quickly, so I am here to answer any questions you may have.
Questions?
I'll try one.
All right.
So the formulation that we see tonight is unique for this year. Will it continue into next cycle or whatever? Do you have any idea? And I guess we're not shooting at a moving target, are we? We're continually trying to.
Well, we would hope that we would have a concrete target each year, but that kind of depends on the state board and the business rules. We would like to see a constant, but there's no guarantee.
I was going to say, with all these points that you've just gone over for us, if that becomes the goal or the target or whatever it is, hopefully working towards those by the time we get out a year or 2 years from now, they would follow that part of it and not start changing things. I guess
I would wholeheartedly agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
I just have two questions. One, let me thank Country Place. I mean, a B to an A, that's awesome, right? So congratulations to Country Place and Trace Rios from a C to a B and Littleton from a C to a B. We still have a little work in fine arts, but I know we're working on that. So congratulations, you know, because of the educational climate. We had COVID, we had online. These are good. We're pleased, I think, with them. We know it's been a few tough years in education for teachers, students, families. So thank you for everyone for really, this is a hard effort. My other question is, do you know what percentage special education enrollment is in our district, just in the whole district?
I don't have that number offhand, Madam President, but I can definitely
Yeah,
make sure
if you
we
would
get
get it and report it back to Dr. Freeman, it's something I know we'd probably all like to know.
Certainly.
And I would like to be optimistic that the bonus points, et cetera, will stay the same. I don't normally see that hold true, so it is a moving target many times. But
Yeah, this year was the first year with the new AZ Sci assessment. Yeah. Last year was a field test. In previous years, it was 4th and 8th graders. Last year, it was 5th and 8th grade who took the assessment. So, yeah, I think getting to know the assessment and getting our students better prepared will help us in the future as well.
I agree. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Freeman, I think this is you to discuss the monitoring report.
Did you want to say add something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam President, the answer to your question about special ed, because the special ed director is listening, we're just under 14%, right around just 13.5% of our population is special ed.
And do you know, in comparison to surrounding districts where it's private, public, doesn't matter, do you know their percentages?
I can tell Dr. Freeman he's like chomping at the bit. We're actually, it depends in our district and districts that are similar, we have a higher than average special ed. If you compare us to charter schools or private schools, we're going to be significantly higher. Okay. I believe the average is about 10 is where it's supposed to hit.
Okay. And we're around 14? Yes. Yeah, I mean, that just speaks to the continuing effort to get the grades we do get. So thank you for bringing that information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Freeman, you're going to discuss the monitoring report.
I have a few things to report, Madam President. I think actually the state percent has gone up a little bit. When I came to work here, the percent of kids in special ed was 9.
Yeah, I remember it was lower.
Yeah. So that does play an important factor. And we're really pleased, especially with the growth points the schools earned. I mean, we got like 96, 97% of those points. The one school that had the lower grade still had more than 40% of those points. And our growth points in this measure exceed the charter next door. So
it's good rivalry.
Yeah. So the staff is doing, even though proficiency is below state average, they're doing a great job of moving kids along. And so we're pretty proud of the way those sub-scores worked out because we focus on growth. I have a couple things to share tonight. So you should have all found somewhere at your seat the new summary. And based on board feedback from the last time we did this, we've printed these 11 by 17 so they could be displayed poster style. I believe when we go to mail them, they're going to be more like 8.5 by 14. But the way this will work is two-sided, and then the picture box for the poster, when you fold it in half and in half again, becomes the mailer label to go out to the community. Pictures go away. Labels go on. We asked staff after the meeting to pull out what they thought were highlights from each of the board goals and organize them again by the 6 guiding principles. Since it was just a week ago we went over that with all of you, we have some things that our staff are working on, including general cleanup and perceiver tables. We have been working to add some more data in goals 2 and 3 for curriculum and differentiation. There was a request to have some resignation data in guiding principle 4. We've looked at that. We're looking at a 4-year trend. We analyzed just 1 month so far. There is a little post-pandemic increase. It's most pronounced in classified, I think because they have a lot more job options with the way things are going out in the labor market. For communications, we're still pulling together that assortment of marquee data for you. Ms. Garrison and I did have a chance to look quickly at the number of rejections we get on phone calls in constant context. They're down into single digits now. Used to be higher. Still a little bit of issue with parents calling in absences. That percent is better than it was pre-pandemic, but we'd love to have that better as far as staff effort and follow-up goes. We looked at the meal delivery distribution, and we've got to go pull that out of other records. So that is going to take a little while to mine, but we hope to have all of that in a cleaned up version ready for you at the next meeting. If that works. So those are the two things by way of follow-up, the summary and our takeaways from your meeting and things that we're still working on. If there's other things that the board would like to request or seek clarification on now that you've had a little time to think about the report, staff will take notes, write those down, and see if there's anything else that we can refine.
Questions, comments?
Looks good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's laid out well, so thank you, and thank the staff for putting the time in it. I know these are not easy to design.
Picking the most important stuff to put in
is hard.
Keeping it succinct.
That's the hard part.
Judgment part is the hard part, but thank you all.
Yeah. All right, so I think at this time that concludes our meeting. I will request adjournment at 6:48.
I will second that.
All right, so now we have a first and a second, so we are adjourned, 6:48. Thanks.
All in favor?
Oh.
Aye.
Aye, and aye, and aye. All right, so no one wants to stay.
Vote no?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.